Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great mystery who rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan coming to you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. And this one here is just a land on this video that I'm about to show here. We are literally cooked. Alright, so let's take a look at it.
So every day I get on this here app and I see more and more countries coming together not out of love for one another, right? Not out of world peace. They're coming together because our government is trying to hurt people.
There's not really a government. There's actually Esau Edom, so-called white man. And all these things is prophecy. Alright? All these things are prophecy. Now we could go to the book of Ecclesiastes 3:1. It says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. Alright? We see many kingdoms was built up and they was thrown down after. Alright? And then other kingdoms was brought up and they also was brought down. We living in that time where Esau kingdom is built up. Alright, Esau Edom, which is the so-called white man, the top banking families, the ones that are actually pulling the strings, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, our maker, is the one that is controlling the minds of these devils. Alright, let's jump down to verse 8. It says, a time to love. She spoke about the people not coming in love. They coming in a different way. Right? Well, look what it says here. A time to love and a time to hate. Right? Because people hating what's going on. Right? This is why people are behaving this type of way. When the righteous is an authority, the people rejoice. No one is rejoicing. But when the wicked bear it rule, the people mourn. And this is what we see in people mourning, because the wicked is an authority today. Alright? And basically they're using Trump, which is their trump card, to bring forth chaos, to bring forth havoc, to bring forth civil unrest. Alright? What did it have after heat? After heat, it says a time of war. And this is the time that we're living in. A time of war. Right? And a time of peace. Right? Peace is going to come last. That's when Yahweh Shai return. And the righteous is going to be in authority. Then peace is going to come. Alright? Let's hear what this so-called black woman here again saying. Because hey, there's a lot of chaos coming up on y'all, because y'all don't want to hearken unto the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Y'all want to mock and scoff and thinking, the world basically revolves around y'all.
For fun. Because the stock that they come from. That's
You hear what she say? Let's go back a little.
the history that they come from. They hurt people for fun. And now they've made it to... So every day, I get on this here app, and I see more and more countries coming together. Not out of love for one another, right? Not out of world peace. They're coming together because our government is trying to hurt people for fun. Because that's the stock that they come from. That's the history that they come from. They hurt people for fun.
And the thing about it, if it is you all know that they came from that root, these people that she's talking about just do those things for fun, and they came from that branch, right? Then you had to know where you came from and who you belong to. Not so? You had to know that also, right? Well, guess what? As the book of Isaiah, let me get that real quick. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3. It says, the ox knoweth it his owner, and the ass his master's crib. Right? This is two stubborn animals. You know, very stubborn. And the Lord basically classing Israel with an ox and an ass. Right? But guess what? They know their master's crib. They know how to get back home. Right? Let's read it again. Isaiah 1 and verse 3. It says, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel, which are the so-called Negroes, the Hispanics, and the Native American Indians today, do not know. My people do not do it, do not consider. Right? They don't consider the Lord. You know? They don't look to the Most High. They look up, but they look for a God named Yahweh, which doesn't exist. Alright? His name is Yahweh. Alright? The scriptures say, though I have girded thee, ye have not known me. Right? So you people are in sin every day. And although the prophets of the Lord are out there preaching this word with truth and sincerity, and letting you all know the name of the Lord Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, right? You all still don't want to listen. Verse 4, it says, a sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord Yahweh. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. Why should ye be stricken anymore? Right? So when you're stricken something, you're beating something, you're taking the whip or something and hitting the ox and the donkey, you're trying to push them, you're trying to move them. They're very stubborn, but these two animals know how to get themselves back home. But although you're beating Israel over and over and over and letting them know, hey, because you sin, this is why these things happening to you. They refuse to say, well, let me behave myself now and turn back to the Lord. They say, no, we will not. That's basically what Israel is saying. Okay? It says, why should ye be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. See? The whole head is sick. right? The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint, right? And this is what going on with Israel today, all right? They're making TikTok video crying, you can't see away, you know who's the enemy, but yet still always still trusting in the enemy.
And now they've made it to and then I have to get up here and I still have to see people in these goofy ass hats. I live in a part of Indiana where during the elections there were those flags everywhere. There was a man, he literally on his fence, he said, go this administration. I refuse to say that fucker's name. I really do. Like, he said, go this administration, clear him out, round him up. He was like, Jesus Christ is king and dump truck is his leader or something. Like, it was some bullshit. And now silence. Silence.
I got some scriptures there. This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 5. It says, there is an evil which I have seen under the sun, an error which proceeded from the ruler. Right? Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is that ruler. It says, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low places. Alright? I have seen servants upon horses, and princes walking as servants upon the earth. Right? Servants. The servants today who is upon horses is talking about the Edomites, is talking about the heathens. Horses goes into what power. So that is what they have right now. It's showing here that they have power, right? And princes walking as servants. The princes are known as the Israelites. Yasharallah. He prince of power. Alright? Yasharallah. That's who we are. Alright? We are the princes of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And what's going on with our people today, we are walking as servants upon the earth. Right?
Nobody has that rhetoric up anymore. Nobody has that foolishness up anymore. The messed up part about it is that some of y'all think that because of y'all's privilege, because of the color that your skin, that other countries won't come over here and rock your shit. You think that you won't wake up and your shit look like Gaza. They don't give a fuck about what God you serve. They don't give a fuck about that you paying your taxes. If you start something, there's gonna be some foolishness. And all these rich motherfuckers want to send our kids to war. Bitch, send your fucking child. How come when we finally start to get our lives together, how come when we finally start to pull ahead as minorities, as women, as LGBTQ, as literally anything, because they're coming after everybody? How come when we finally get this shit together and we finally have some modicum of peace?
One set of bullshit this woman talking. Right? One set of bullshit this woman talking. The Lord don't give a fuck about no LGBTQ or HRS, STR, whatever the fuck all they want to call all their damn self. I just calling names because this generation is completely gone. Right? You people are completely gone. Right? You don't give a rat's ass about you and your privilege, your wickedness that you're doing you know, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is basically going to fuck your people up, right? He's going to send you all to war, you know. The whole thing about it, the ungodly is going to perish, you know. The ungodly is going to perish, and the righteous ones is going to be saved, right? This is Psalms chapter 1 and verse 6. It says, "For the Lord Yahweh knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish." Right? This is what's going to take place. Alright? Everything that we see in today, you know, on the earth is only what? Vanity and vexation of spirits. You know, there's the book of Ecclesiastes 1 and 14. It says, "I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirits." Alright? There's a lot of vanity and vexation of spirits. You know, she calling upon, you know, talking about they finally at peace and whatnot. But what the scriptures say, you know, when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them. You know? Let's come back here.
Has that rhetoric up anymore. Nobody has that foolishness up anymore. The messed up part about it is that some of y'all think that because of y'all's privilege, because of the color that your skin, that other countries won't come over here and rock your shit. You think that you won't wake up and your shit look like Gaza.
I remember Klaus Schwab also came out and said, you know, prepare for an angry world. You know, this is what he said. And, you know, these people, a lot of people heard that. And basically what took place, it went over their head. You know, so they didn't take it, you know, they didn't take it and say, well, you know, let's take that in consideration. Let's understand what this man's saying here. You know, what our people do, they just continue in their wickedness, right? And thinking that everything is okay, trusting in the government, all right? Because she goes on and on and on, speaking about, what's this man named Obama and whatnot, is the best president and all that shit. You know, I really want to play no more of her, you know, because, you know, she's completely gone, right? But she speak about Obama, you know, is the best president and all that shit, you know, which Obama is basically cut from the same cloth as Trump, you know, working for the same people. You know, it was, you know, basically it was just because you were so-called black that, you know, you so-called black people thought you all was in good case after, you know, not realizing that was part of all the destruction, you know, part of the plan, part of the trap, right? You know, the scriptures talk about trusting in the Lord, you know, and not trusting in man, not trusting in these elites, not trusting in these governments, right? But trusting Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
They don't give a fuck about what God you serve. They don't give a fuck about you paying your taxes. If you start something, there's gonna be some foolishness. And all these rich motherfuckers want to send our kids to war. Bitch, send your fucking child.
All of y'all are to go to war. Every single one of y'all are to go to war.
How come when we finally start to get our lives together, how come when we finally start to pull ahead as minorities, as women, as LGBTQ, as literally anything?
Because anything that all you follow is wickedness in the sight of the Lord. That is the whole thing there. Anything that you all follow is wickedness in the sight of the Lord. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, and this is the New Testament. It's for you people who don't trust in the Old Testament, but all they say what the New Testament stands. Well, look what the New Testament say. All right, 1 Corinthians chapter 6. And verse 9. It says, Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of power? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, all right? Nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revelers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of power, right? And there's the whole thing here. You people will not inherit the kingdom if it is you had that type of energy, that type of spirit upon you, you know. Wisdom would not enter into a malicious soul, all right? So therefore, guess what? You people are the what? You all have to, you had the dead. You had the dead, right? Because it's wickedness. Wickedness polluted the whole earth. Evil. And this is what the Lord is coming to do. What? He's coming to destroy you people. How much time he have to beat you all? How much time he have to cut your ass in order for you all to understand that he owns you? And he's basically calling you back by sending his prophets out on the highways and byways preaching this word, doing these type of videos, warning you people. When you all are going to understand this is the curses that you all are under, because you all sin against Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Because you sin, and you refuse to follow the Lord's statutes and commandments, the Lord put all of us in what? In hell, right? Hell is what? Just a lower state, right? And the grave, that is all hell is. The Lord have open arms, warning you people and telling you all to come back to him. But you all are refusing. And as I just read, the ungodly will not inherit the kingdom. Meaning what? You will not be able to get into the kingdom being that type of being an adulterer. Liking man on man and woman on woman and all that bullshit. Right? Being evil. Alright? Loving this world. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and 18. It says, Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, right? These people in the world today, right? It says, Let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with power, right? The wisdom of this world. So the things that they're looking at and they're calling and saying, well, saying that, they finally finding peace, they finally getting their life together, they finally doing this to please them and whatnot, so forth. That's roughly paraphrasing what she's saying. That is foolish wisdom. That is things of the world. Right? That's not the way to be. Okay? Verse 19, 1 Corinthians 3 and 19 again, it says, For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with power. For it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness. Right? And again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. Right? So a lot of you people out there blessed with Esau's spirit. Alright? Esau is that so-called wise man today, but as the scriptures say, there's no more wisdom in Teman. Esau has no more wisdom, right? Esau's kingdom is basically falling. This is why we're seeing all these things happening today, all right? Now let's get one more script here and close it off. First John 2 and 15. It says, Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Alright, and clearly you see the love of the Father is not in these people, especially that woman there. Alright? Because she ain't understand. But she understand that these people that ruling today, they are wicked and they have a history. But again, the ox know its owner and the ass is master's crib, but Israel doesn't know, right? They don't want to consider the Lord. Alright, the Lord right there. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai right there. Yahweh Shai is right there. We tell you all their names, right? So therefore, all you have to do is turn back. But you rather watch the enemy and think that, the enemy is himself could save you. The same one who oppressing you all running towards that same man to get help. One of them that go down to Egypt for help. Let's come back here. 1 John 2 and 15, it says, Love not the world, neither the things of the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the pride, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. Right? And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of power abideth forever. Alright, those that follow in the righteous way, which is going to be who? The elect of Israel. Alright, that the Lord is coming to save. Yahweh Shai Mashiach is coming to save. Right? So we had to just keep focus. Keep our eyes on the prize. Don't give in like these other 2/3 of Israel, because they have their lot to fulfill. Alright? They're going to get destroyed on this side by the enemy, which is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Alright? So with that, I hope this lesson here was edifying to the elect of Israel. I'd like to give all praises and all glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rechak, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the faithful elect. Shalom and Abad Babal.